Right, hello, everybody. This is Melanie, and I go by many, many names. But today we'll just go by Melanie. Melanie Renee is actually the name that I usually like to go by the most for, like a legal name. And I said that I was going to share a personal experience. So, and I'm sorry that I did not get around to it that day that I said I was going to share, but I am sharing now. So, as we all know, sometimes life takes over and we make plans and life goes and the universe is like, ha ha ha, no, not today. So, but I wanted to share a personal experience of mine when it comes to mediums and mediumship. And I've got one of many, but I'm just going to share one. My very first hands-on experience dealing with those on the other side. This was 2011. I had recently just met my gentle giant. I call him my gentle giant. His name's Aaron. He's like the 6'10", blonde hair, blue eye, just gentle giant. I mean, he's just amazing. He's just a soft creature who just happens to be in the body of a giant. And I have another gentle giant friend, my friend Clayton. He's 6'10" and a half. And both of them, they're both gentle giants and both wonderful fucking fathers. Oh my God. Okay, sorry for the F word. I don't mean to, I'm trying not to swear. I have a potty mouth. I apologize. So I will try to put more filters on to the potty mouth. But anyways, so I just met my friend, my gentle giant friend, and it was the night that I was hanging out with another male friend of mine, an Aquarian friend of mine, and I had fallen asleep. And I had fallen asleep, but I was like half awake, half asleep state. And as I'm laying, like I fell asleep laying down, and in my sleep state, I was laying down, like, well, I was like as if I was on my back. I can't necessarily say I was laying down, but I was on my back. And I had all these people around me talking to me, asking me all these different questions. And one of the questions was, did they finish up the construction on Milwaukee Street? Which is crazy because at that time there was construction being done on the north side of Rapid on Milwaukee Street. And at the time I lived in Spearfish, South Dakota, which is called the crown of the Black Hills. And I was born and raised in the Black Hills, born and raised in Rapid. And at the time I was living in Spearfish. I'd lived up in Spearfish for about 10 years. And this was about right before I had moved out of Spearfish. And so anyways, I had all these people around me asking me all these questions. And one of the people that came to me, that like started talking to me, was Aaron's grandfather, who I had just recently met Aaron, and I had met him during the week of when his grandfather had passed, and he was very, very close to his grandfather, and his grandfather was it was among them. And how did I know that it was his grandfather? I don't know. I just knew, just like that knowing. And it was just a very weird experience. And there was like other things that happened, but when it comes to like talking to those on the other side, and that surreal, like that moment, you know. And I remember waking up and calling my mom and just trying to talk to her, telling her that I had this weird experience. And at the same time, she's telling me that she's having this weird experience and that they would not leave the cupboards alone, that they keep slamming the cupboards. It was so weird. And mind you, I had called her while I was still kind of like in that half sleep, I was awake, but you know, when you're groggy and you're first waking up. And that was one of the most hands-on surreal moments for me when it comes to medium and mediumship and dealing with those on the other side. There was a lot more that had happened that day, but I just wanted to share that piece. You know, and as I think back, you know, I just remember just being there and just all these different people just circled around me, talking to me, asking me questions and everything. It was very surreal. And then waking up from it as if it wasn't a dream, but waking up from something that had happened, and then calling my mom. And mind you, what was so significant about this one moment, you know, was winter solstice. And winter solstice is during the time of the year. It's supposed to be the longest day of the year, and it's also the time where the veil is the most thinnest. And the winter solstice happens in December, and it happens like during an alignment to where we are aligned most closest to the spiritual realm. And what I have found out recently from a really close friend of mine is that there are Native American tribes that don't do celebration during the month of December. But and what's really, really significant about this time is all my other supernatural experiences have always been during, well, not all of them, but most of them have been during the month of December. Now, I had some supernatural experiences that happened in the summer, but when it comes to those on the other side, it always seems to happen in December during the time of winter solstice. So that was me sharing a personal experience with everybody. Thank you.